guys, welcome to the next episode of the Collectania of Everything. I know it's been, what has it been, like a week and a bit since we
I can't remember.
last did it, which was better than our...
that long ago.
Who knows? It's better than the like 2 or 3 weeks we were originally thinking it might be. So it's...
Suddenly worried about my mic
You
positioning.
haven't even looked at mine.
I think it's good. I'll try not to move it.
There we go, we're good.
Here we go.
We don't really have anything planned.
We don't. We figured out a little bit of a structure.
Yeah, we
Tonight.
do want to have each episode kind of around a topic, or I guess just have some guidelines for us to try and stay between.
If we don't, I don't think we're going to be too stressed. But we want to try and we want something to start us off.
Yeah.
To talk about. But what we've worked out is we've got a list of 20 things that we've got that we want to talk about at some point, or both of us or one of us wants to talk about at some point, and we've got a D20 dice. So we're going to roll this, and we're going to pick what, depending on what the roll is, we're going to do that.
Look at the number.
Look at the number. You do the topic that corresponds with the number.
Yeah.
Now, what we were planning on doing was we're going to roll this at the end of every episode to determine what we're going to be doing the next week, and so you guys know what.
Give you guys a bit of a teaser.
Well, not next week, but next time
episode,
we sit down and do this. But we didn't do that last time, so what we're thinking is that we're going to roll and try and ad lib. Like, basically, we're just going to...
Today's topic, we're figuring out with you now.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to roll again for next episode at the end of this one.
Yeah.
And then the structure will be a bit more,
We might botch the rolls a little bit. We might roll a few times, because some of these we want we want to give them... We want to give them justice. We want to do them with a bit of prep.
You weren't supposed to tell them that. This is... No, we're going to go with whatever it rolls on. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not skewing it at all.
They will hear their dice roll, though.
That's the multiple dice rolls. I'll edit it out. It'll be fine.
Okay. But beforehand, there's one thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
Who's actually hosting this?
We're the hosts. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but like one of us has got to do the intro. You did it this time. You did it last time. Does that mean you're the host, or are we gonna be?
I think you did it last time.
Did I do it last time?
You did it last time.
Are we gonna be swapping, changing? Like who's the host? Like who's gonna do the introduction?
I don't think we have a host. We're both the hosts. Did I even say hi? I said welcome to the Collectania and everything. But I don't know.
I reckon we should swap and change it.
Okay.
Like
so you want to be the host?
So I reckon I'll be like, hi, welcome to the Collectania of Everything. I'm your host, Hamish Skeleton. Yada yada yada.
Okay. Yep. That sounds good.
And then next time you can do it.
Okay. So who's doing it this time?
You.
Oh, perfect. Does that mean I get to roll the dice?
Well, normally that's down to the assistant, but sure, you can take it this
Thank
time.
you. I've just realised that I'm...
Yeah, I reckon the host can roll for the game.
The end of the
there
episode.
We go.
So I'm rolling twice on this episode?
No, I roll for this one because I was meant to roll last time.
And then I'm rolling again. Perfect. I've just realised as well that I'm drinking a coffee. I'm nearly completely done. But I've been like holding it above my mic and like brushing up against the mic. So I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. I haven't been doing that.
Yeah, I've been making a mistake. And we're recording from Hamish's today. We're recording at mine last time. We're recording from Hamish's. He's right on the road. He's got a baby.
Yeah,
we
live right on near a main road. Well, we live right next to a road that's near.
Yeah.
And it can be a bit loud, and sometimes there's cars that go by with really loud exhausts or really loud music.
You told me yesterday.
Yeah.
There's a car going around at night, playing like external speakers, random music.
It sounds.
Were you joking?
No. There's a car that occasionally goes past that it's playing music. It sounds like the quality and everything.
Like
it
an ice
sounds
cream
like
truck.
it's from an ice cream truck, but it's playing like weird music, and it's the weirdest
Like
thing.
what? Like rap? I don't understand.
No, it's just like I don't know.
Like random.
It sounds like some kind of foreign music I don't understand. I've never heard before.
Well, let's see if that happens tonight.
Not to try and like pin it on anyone. Like I don't know what it is. Like it didn't sound like music I'm used to listening to. It is the weirdest
It didn't sound
thing.
like music.
It did. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Today, on the way back here, I had the weirdest thing coming as well, because I don't know if I should talk about it because it was really weird. coming back, I was driving home by myself, and I was nearly home, so I was in the district I live in.
Yeah.
And for a few seconds, that same music was emanating from, like, it sounded like it was coming from my engine. Like, it was the weirdest experience.
Wait.
I assume it was the car driving past, and like because we were driving past each other quite quickly, I only heard a few seconds.
Maybe
but
this
it's
is
the
like-
weird sound. Yeah,
You watch the movies when like people are like talking to people and the person they've been talking to has like been dead the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just been in their head.
You reckon
Maybe
this
this is
music's
in your
been-
head. You're the one who's causing this ice cream truck music to play.
Yeah. Have you? My mind first goes to like in X-Files where there's like weird stuff happening to the car before like an abduction happens.
Yeah, like
You know, like the time goes all
back and
weird and,
everything.
the radio
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. Lost
Like,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's where my mind went to, because I'm like
Honestly.
every time me and my wife we hear it go past, one of us tries to find it and look at it. Neither of us have been able to see what this car is, see what it looks like.
It's what the UFO replaces itself with when it leaves. It's
Yeah.
just this random music. Honestly though, when I was like back at school,
Yeah.
we said we're going to keep these episodes to like 30 minutes, and we haven't even rolled for our topic yet. But
Maybe we don't have to.
look at us trying to.
We're going to talk about the weird car that drives past my house.
When I was young, I went to stay at a friend's house for a night, and there was like a group of us that were there. I woke up. We all went to bed. I woke up at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
and I heard this real far off, like, I can't even remember now if it was either like piano music or like guitar music, but it had creepy singing,
Yeah.
and it sounded like it was coming from the outside, and it just kept going until I fell back to sleep. And it was the randomest thing. And I remember
You
waking
haven't
someone
told me
up.
about this.
I don't know if I have. I've told my family knows about this. Like, I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
But I woke someone up and they couldn't even hear it, I don't think.
Yeah.
And after that instance, it creeped me out. And after that instance, I heard it again at home with my brother. And I've heard it like 3 times in my life since, but I haven't heard it for ages and ages. But it was just like, so all of a sudden out of the blue, this strange music would play.
Could be a prank.
My
But
brother heard it with me once.
did he actually hear
Yeah,
it?
he did. That's weird. I don't know. It was another UFO thing, probably. The UFO was just
Yeah.
replacing its presence with random music.
Maybe are we making our own like little cryptid things that we've got to try and find? Like I've got to find the ghost ice cream truck,
Yeah.
like all the haunted. Yeah, and
I'm
then you've got to
track
find.
down the haunting music that's haunted me from my youth.
Yeah,
Yeah. There we go.
yeah. Okay.
10 minutes into the episode, guys.
I still feel like I need to cover the car thing. Drive it. It was weird. I don't know if I.
When it happened to you today, it was weird?
Yeah, it was literally today. So yeah, it. I don't know. I feel like I didn't explain it very well.
And it sounded like it was either the car behind you or kind of like emanating from your car?
Literally, it felt like I don't know, it felt like my stereo had just done something weird, and it was just, it felt like it was very much directed straight towards me. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was like, it just sounded like it was isolated in one part of my car. It wasn't like, because my speakers are all through my car, you know?
Yeah.
So it didn't sound like it was coming from everywhere in the car.
Yeah.
Which, and for us, you know, on the driver's side, it would make sense if a car was going past and it had this like weird blaring music that it might feel that way, that it was coming through the, you know, that part of the car.
Yeah.
Because that would be where it's coming from, I guess. But I didn't really get a good look at the cars going past. I think I saw a white car when I drove past and I heard it. So I might be onto something.
White cars,
It's
men
a
in
white
black
car,
coming
yeah.
out. It's, oh man. I hope it happens tonight. I think we should just have it from your place.
Yeah.
Record this at your place from now on. Just
Yeah.
with the hopes we'll hear the...
I should try next time. I should like.
Get a
I should
sound
try
clip.
and get like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sound
yeah.
clip.
That'd
It'll be
good.
so weird if it like doesn't come up with anything.
Yeah, you just recorded silence. Oh.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna decide the role now.
Okay, we're going to decide what we're talking about in this episode, guys.
Yeah.
I got to unlock my phone. What am
Yeah.
I... Oh, I can't remember my
what the heck is your
password.
pin?
Now I'm doing it in front of you. Oh, no. Hamish can...
You can unlock your phone.
Is
now.
this even still recording? Yeah, it is. Okay.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay. Here's the list. We're going to roll a dice.
We've only got like 20 minutes to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm rolling.
You said you were. 16. We're talking about comic books and manga.
Okay. We can do that.
We can do that.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Okay. Okay.
That's an easy one. Look, I didn't have to botch up the rolls or anything.
yeah, and we won't tell them I just said that all out. That is... Yeah. No edits, guys. This is the first one we rolled. Comic books and manga. I guess...
What well, what are we wanting to talk about with these things? Like, are we wanting to?
I don't know. I guess it's just conversation starters.
Because like, you've read more comic books, I've read more manga than you.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Yeah. So, I don't know.
I guess, I don't know. Did you want to talk about maybe?
Well, how about we just discuss like what would your typical comic book be that you would read? Like, what kind of genre comic book would you read?
Well, I guess.
Like, are you a Walking Dead fan, or are you like manga? Yeah, no, Marvel, DC. I don't know.
Well, growing up, I was obsessed with Marvel comics. Like, I'd go to the library.
You used to have that huge collection.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, like, growing up, I used to, when I was like, started going to school, I must have been like 5, 6, 7, I would get out like comic books from the library. I'd get out a ton and just like read religiously through them. I'd stay up all night reading Marvel comics. I'd get their big, they used to print like big, thick, black and white, like collections of all their past old comic issues they did. And I'd just read through those. I remember being at school and people being like, why are you reading that? It's black and white. It's like massive. I'd be like, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
So I was a massive fan. And then, as I started on, like, as I grew up, I started collecting the original issues. And I'd go to, like, whenever I go to a new town or something, I'd hit up a comic place, buy some issues. And I just had a massive shelf of comics at home. But it was all Marvel comics.
It was. It was a good collection, though.
Yeah.
I like, I never really got much into Marvel or DC or comic books in general. I think I used to find Star Wars, like their comic books and stuff. I used to find them quite appealing, but I was quite a lazy kid. I wouldn't read the comic books. I would look through them.
Yeah.
I would pick them up, and I think there were a few comic books I'd go through and I'd read them and stuff like that. But normally it was like when I was really bored.
I guess I didn't just read Marvel. I read like Tintin and Asterix were also massive when I was young.
Asterix.
Did you read
Asterix and Obelix? I used to read that. That was like but I don't know. I feel like I guess it's a comic book. Yeah. It is a comic book.
Yeah. Is it more mainstream? I guess so. Feels like everyone's read like Asterix and Tintin or one or the other.
I didn't read Tintin.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
But I did read Asterix and Obelix. I didn't read a lot though. Thing is, we didn't have a lot growing up. A lot of those sorts of comics and stuff. So I just read what we had, I guess.
And did you grow up out of town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, country.
Yeah.
On a lifestyle block, so it wasn't really
not super close to a library or anything.
Yeah. And we weren't really farmers either. It kind of sucked, really. Well, actually, it was really cool growing up out there. But it was like you couldn't say, we're farmers. It was just like we just live out in the country.
We just live out here.
And
I guess you were homeschooled for a while as well, so you wouldn't have had like a school library or anything. It was kind of
no. It was just whatever was there. We did have like a lot of books, and we had a lot. We had a lot of stuff to read. It's just that you didn't have the variety that you would if you went to school.
Yeah,
I think. But I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I used to read. Comic books.
I did go through a phase of just getting out like random ads books from the library. Like Disney used to put out like The Adventures of Mickey Mouse and Goofy and stuff, which I loved as a kid. They also I think Bone Comics. Have you heard of Bone? The Bone series? It was like these random guys that were shaped like different bones. And it was like this fantasy world. It was this epic fantasy adventure, and they had to go like help this human chick go and defeat this person who was these like crazy random creatures called rats or something. It was really cool.
Never heard of it.
Really? I want to reread them. It like got me into fantasy.
You remember Stickman, the Stickman comics? Is that like a vague memory of that?
Stickman comics?
Yeah, like it was like when you started getting really into drawing comics and you'd only ever draw Stickman stuff, and which is something we should get into as well. All the comic books you drew in high school.
I forgot about
that.
But
remember that you recommended it to me. It was like a big thick book, and it was literally just a comic book, but it was all done in a Stickman style.
Was it like a Greek?
I think it was.
It was like the Greek Odyssey or something, and it was all done in like Stickman comic style. I remember that.
It was actually really cool, and I think it was like there was like aspects of it like. I seem to remember like there was like a god or something in it, and it was basically a hand with a pen
who's writing the book,
who drew something and
drawing the world.
And bring stuff to life, and it was like, I
think honestly, I just would go to the library and I'd just get out comic books.
Yeah.
Like, I read novels as well growing up, but I loved comic books.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't. I guess the topic's comic books and manga. I didn't read manga until I met you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really read a lot of manga either until I started going to high school, I think.
Really? So it was about the time that, like...
Yeah. But a lot of those are all in black and white as well, aren't they?
Majority of them.
You don't really notice.
No, you don't.
Like,
yeah, totally.
What you do notice is that you're like reading it backwards for some of them.
Yeah.
I think some of them aren't.
The more like Americanized ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because I read heaps of comics, collected comic books, and then I kind of just stopped for a while in high school, and I got really into manga after kind of you. Because I mean, you've always you've loved like anime, manga,
Yeah.
Japanese type stuff,
Yeah.
and you kind of got me into it for a while, and that was real cool. I can't remember how that happened.
Was it One Piece? Did we
It
start
was One
because we
Piece.
started? I was watching One Piece or something, like a really just typical anime
Pirate
like,
adventures, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like just that. Yeah, everyone's heard of it basically.
Yeah.
If you've heard of any anime, you've heard of this one. It's I don't know. I think pretty sure there are over like 1,000 episodes.
I remember from when we used to like read them that
Yeah.
writer would always be like, "Hey guys, this is going to be the last like arc or the last story arc or plot line, and then we're going to stop." I'm pretty sure it's still going, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. But then, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it started because I think I was watching them. And I think I was watching them in subbed.
Subtitles.
Yeah, and I think you were just reading the books. You you started reading.
So you're watching the like
I think
Japanese
I was
One Piece
watching them.
anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you went and you just got a whole bunch from the library.
I think
and
you were
started
really
reading
into it,
them.
and then I was like, "Hey, I don't really have."
I think you watched some of them. You might have watched when it was like up to like some of the dubbed and stuff, and then.
I think I think I must have gotten up the books and read it that way, and I remember.
Because I remember you had the first like arc,
and
the
then I
first,
eventually bought.
on like DVD. You had like the first little bit in DVD, and
That was good times.
yeah. But I think that's where we got. I think that around then is when you started like because you're like, I have access to them all in manga.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna at the library.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go read those.
Was
I think
it
that's
me?
when I think you were the one who got me into reading
Flat,
them. To be
man.
honest, if I think about it, because I started going there, and you're like, man, you should just read them. You don't
I've
have
read
to, like,
past you. What are you doing? You need to read these. Yeah.
and like, yeah, and then there's like a whole bunch of other ones I just hadn't really heard of as well that were there. I think because if you're going online, there's a humongous selection, and you're like, I don't know which one's good, which one's bad, or whatever.
And I guess it puts people off, because it's got kind of like, you read it back to front.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's just quite weird. Why would you read like a random Japanese comic book?
Yeah.
But once you start reading it, it's...
Yeah.
I don't know, we found some real cool ones. I remember in school we read one called Bakuman.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites too. And it was literally, the plot of the book was like, two guys, one writes, one draws, and they want to make a manga or want to make a series.
Yeah.
And that was the whole plot of the book, but it was just so cool.
Well, I mean, that wasn't really the whole plot of the book.
Yeah,
There was a lot of like, it was to do with his relationship with that. I can't remember. It was basically, it was like a girl that he had made like a deal with. I think they were both like in love, but I don't know. I can't remember exactly the story. It's been a few years since reading it, but I seem to remember he made a deal that because I think they liked each other, but he was like unstable in a career. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so he was like, when I get a show animated, I think it was, when I get one of my mangas animated and turned into a show or something like that.
Yeah.
Then he said he would propose to her or whatever because he didn't want to marry her and bring her into and not be able to provide basically. I think that's kind of what it was.
And then it was kind of
like he didn't want, or like his, I don't know, I can't remember. There might have been stuff to do with the parents and stuff. Like
Yeah, it's but then it was kind of
because
like...
I think it was like his uncle was a manga artist and was like basically failed and died young or something, and he was like he had done manga, but he wasn't like he didn't really achieve anything great or something like that, and he really looked up to his uncle, but he didn't want, I guess that's like kind of how I guess in the story that's how people were viewing it. It was like, you're not going to be able to. You're just going to be exactly like your uncle.
Like your uncle. That's right. I completely forgot about that aspect. And then it was like, hey, this is kid in this class. He can draw, or he can write.
Yeah. So he was the artist.
Yeah.
That guy.
He got with the.
And then there was that like
wrote.
That nerd who was like super. Well, he's not really a nerd, but like the guy who was like really good in class and was like really good at writing. And
that's right.
He was basically he would have been like he probably would have just been a good author if he hadn't joined up. But they teamed up. One wrote the stories, and it was a lot of the book. It's just about you learn a lot. If it's accurate, you learn a lot about the process of like how much work goes into the making manga, and like the process that a lot of them have to go through to get one.
It was like a real meta book, eh?
Yeah, and you learn a lot about like how like
competitive it
is, yeah, and like how like which publishers and stuff like that are going to be able to like what they're going to want, and I don't know. It was like a lot of stuff to do with like targeting audiences and things like that.
Let's add in this character so people would like it or make it a bit more like...
Which is could be really boring for a lot of people, but I don't know. I don't
know why we liked it
I think it was because we both were into writing and we're really into like stories and stuff like that and creating, and we were I guess we liked that aspect of it because we were wanting to write our own books.
And I remember after like reading this series, for a time there was going to be like, hey, why don't we make our own manga? I remember there was like this brief time when like you did some sketches and we were going to do some stuff and we both came up with a story and we were like, let's do this.
I've always wanted to get really good at drawing, but that's something you have to put lots of practice in.
Yeah.
And I think I was like, if I get good enough and I practice enough, we can get like I could do the art, and if you do like the story, and we're basically going to try and you have blonde hair, I have dark hair.
Yeah, it was like meant to be.
You just needed some glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Yeah, that was good. I haven't read a manga in ages.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It's been like reading. I don't know what
I think
we
talked about this last episode.
We did. We're kind of like doubling over. But a couple years ago, I think I picked up like Naruto. And I was like, oh, let's read this. But it's just a bit too like mainstream. I think what was so special about the manga that we read at school was that we just found these like random ass stories that were real unique. We were pretty much the only people that we knew that read them, and I don't know, they're actually really cool.
Yeah. What was another one we read? I feel like there was. We did read a lot of One Piece, which is quite mainstream.
Yeah. A lot of them were quite like random. Like there was one about this whole. Was it Toriko?
Oh, Toriko. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I read more.
I feel like around the time I thought anyway that was quite a mainstream one. But like I haven't heard or seen anything of it, so maybe it's just a bit old. That's the thing. We read them, we didn't know a lot about what exactly they were and how they sat in like society with like how popular they were.
I mean, we were like 13, 14.
I think we were 14, 15.
Because I finished school in 2016. Yeah, so it must have been 14, 15. Yeah, but Toriko was like half the world is chefs, half the world are hunters.
Toriko must have been actually quite mainstream at the time.
It must have been.
Because it wasn't there that crossover episode like in anime, like in an anime episode, and it had like Naruto and it had like Dragon Ball Z and One Piece and Toriko.
Toriko was there.
I'm pretty sure it was like all of them, and it was based in the Toriko's world. I'm pretty sure.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
It was like a really weird.
I never watched that. You did,
I think I did. At least I watched some of it. Yeah. So it must have been pretty mainstream. At least at the time, it must have been like quite popular.
It's just that we were like, no one else at school knew what we were on about when we would mention these things.
Oh, there were a few people who like knew. Yeah, like who were really into.
A few friends that watched like One Piece and
Naruto. Yeah.
Is it good? Good times.
What was it? What was it called? The
Hikaru no Go.
Oh, Hikaru no Go. I think that's what it was called.
And it was a little bit of a guy who's
plays Go.
It's like the Queen's Gambit chess TV show that everyone's raving about at the moment, but it was about a guy getting real good at a game called Go.
Yeah, but he had like a ghost that was telling him how to do everything.
Yeah, a bit more supernatural than a Queen's Gambit, I guess. But
yeah, he found what the spoilers from memory.
Spoilers if you read Hikaru no Go, guys.
he found it might be pretty big. I don't know.
We're completely disconnected from that world now. Yeah.
He found like I think it was in his grandfather's
Was
attic.
it like a haunted
He found
Go
it was like a Go table thing that had like a stain of
I guess
blood on
we
it
should probably
or
say what
something.
Go is, but it's like
It's like a really old Japanese board game.
it's kind of like you got a chessboard, but you got little like pebbles or rocks.
You know that one you bought me because a while ago, my 21st birthday was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
now.
I saw
you
a
bought
Go
me-
board and I was like, I'm going to get this for Hamish. This will be
Yeah.
good. We haven't played it since I bought it for him.
I have played a game.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't enjoy it, so I haven't really played a lot.
We used to play it at school.
Yeah, we did on the computers when we were meant to be
admit
studying.
this, but last episode we talked about how we went and we played Monster Hunter when we should have been studying. But we also, if we kind of found ourselves having a bit of free time at school, we'd go to an online Go website and just verse each other on the computer.
Yeah, on the because they had that big room. It was like full of computers.
Yeah,
it was
the
like
computer room.
Yeah. We were meant to go in there. We would go in there for research or anything like that, and the whole
Yeah.
class would go in. And we'd often, if it was like, "Oh, we've got an hour in here," we'd
Have a
often
Go
be like,
tab open while we're
"Yeah,"
doing our actual
and then the teacher
work.
would walk past, and you'd be like, "Click, click,
Switch
click."
tabs, get out of Go!
And-
No one knows what Go is. We're complete weirdos. We didn't Go
it's
open
meant
in
to
the
be
tab.
look, that Go board you got me on the pamphlet that comes with it with the instructions. It
Yeah.
explains briefly what the game is, and it said that it is considered to be one of the most played board games in the world. That is just a car going by.
Oh man, I was like, if we're going to be abducted. Yeah, there's a car screeching. Okay, we're good. It's
Yeah.
one of the most... What did you say? One of the most...
It's considered to be one of the most played board games in the world,
I guess it's...
and I think it is one of the oldest as well.
Because
I don't know the history of it. I feel like because I think that pamphlet said it was Japanese, and I know it to be like a Japanese game. But I thought I heard somewhere ages ago that it was originally a Chinese board game. But I don't know. I don't know for
It makes sense if it's played in China and Japan, that it would be quite big in the world.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know the history behind it. Maybe we need to do an episode.
The history of Go, guys, coming up in the future.
I would love to do that. Let's add that on the list.
Yeah, because one of you is like a black. You've got the black pebbles. One of you's got the white pebbles, and you try and like surround each other's ones. And
Yeah,
when
so
you
like
completely surround them by your color pebbles. You gain their pebbles. As
Yeah,
points.
it sort of looks like a checkers board almost,
Yeah.
but a lot bigger, with like a lot more intersecting
I
lines.
really want to play this. I haven't
And
played
you
it since
place
school.
the little stones in the intersections of lines,
Yeah.
and it's basically each square is count. I feel like I'm butchering that, but like each square is sort of counted as a territory, and if you have that square under your control, like if you have it completely surrounded or anything like that. Oh no! It's each intersecting line. It's not. Is like if you surround someone and
Yeah.
you take out their pieces, and you've got like 3 or 4 intersecting lines in an area that is surrounded completely by your pieces.
That's how many points you get.
That's territory,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
points you get.
Yeah, that's right. Man, I want to play. Yeah, I haven't played it since school. What? we were really into a manga series about a guy learning how to play Go from a dead.
Well, the story was that I think there was a bit of blood on the
Yeah.
thing. It was haunted. When he touched it, he could see the ghost. No one else could. The ghost was a Go advisor, I think,
I think
for
so.
like an old like Japanese emperor or something like
Like
that.
real old school.
Like real old, like
ancient China type thing, or ancient Japan, or
yeah, and it was Japan, pretty sure.
yeah.
But like he basically was a guy who just advised the emperor on what he should do, like strategy and stuff. For Go,
Really riveting book.
and it's basically this kid who doesn't know anything about Go. He suddenly starts like acing people, like pros and stuff, and he starts getting like really good and.
Yeah.
And and then there's like a rival dude who's like this, who's just a natural, who's really good at it, and it's about like, and it's like there's a lot to it. It's actually really interesting, and it's fun. It's a fun read.
It is.
But it's
Listening back to us talking about this, though, we were super into a series about Go, about people writing books, about someone cooking food, Toriko.
that was a little different. He was like hunting down monsters,
Yeah.
and it was really interesting because it was just like that monster's got the this cut of that monster is the best, and you mix it with this, and
I think all this podcast is going to be us just reliving old nerdy pastimes and people realizing what we're really like.
yeah.
Welcome to the real us, guys. This is great.
Or should we end it there? We're on half an hour.
Yeah.
We said we'll go to half an hour.
We should just put the timer away.
We have to roll. But are we happy with this conclusion?
I guess
Manga and comic
I
books.
still really like manga and comic books. Comic books, I think, me reading, I'm still into Marvel. I think I love it now that I've read all, like, majority of heroes. I've read all their backstory, who they are. So now when a new movie comes up, I'm like, they're adapting this story or this plot line and bringing this character in. It's a real cool feeling now, which I don't think a lot of people feel.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad. I really love that I was into comic books. I still wish I had my comic collection.
You know what I was just thinking about? Because we've got on one of the lists.
Yeah.
On our list, we've got one of the options is talking about like collections and stuff. Because
What we've collected.
Someone suggested or asked us to do that.
Yeah, that was cool.
So what I was just thinking is I would actually, because I've never been much of a collector person. I guess I don't really collect a lot of. I collect little knick-knacky things, but I don't often have like huge collections of things.
Yeah.
Like I've got a few pop vinyls and stuff, but nothing anywhere near as much as you've got. I'd say you're a pretty good like collector of stuff. Like when you get into something, you collect and you learn. You get everything about it. You learn everything and you collect stuff and
then sell and start something else.
But I was just it's fun though.
It is fun. I love being into it.
I was just thinking I would really love to go back and like actually buy the manga collections of comic books that we've read in the past that we've enjoyed.
That would be good. I'd love to reread them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to play Go. Can we play Go sometime?
Yeah,
let's do
definitely.
that. That'll be fun.
Well. But I think that's...
Is there anything else you wanted to touch on?
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there we go. 20 minutes about comic books and manga.
We could wait here a while and see if that car goes by.
The car sound. Yeah.
It normally is around this time of day. But...
What's the time?
Actually, I think it might have already gone past today.
My watch has stopped.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, it's just out of battery. 8:30.
Sweet.
No, that was good.
Oh, you've got to roll. So let's do that first.
Okay. All right. So this is what next episode is going to be about. And yeah, we've got a list here, guys.
He's just
my
unlocking his
passcode
phone.
again. There you go.
I
Could have gone on you to put that one in. But yeah, we've got a list here. We're going to keep it at 20, and we're going to replace it when we use up topics. So we've used up a topic today, actually. But if you've got some ideas for topics, we'd absolutely love to just add whatever you want us to talk about to the list. And with us doing it at the end of each episode now, we're going to have a bit of time to think about it and research it if we need to. But yeah, just message us, email us. I think we're...
We've decided that because we're rolling a D20 and we're D&D nerds, we've decided that if we roll a 1, nat 1, we get...
nat 1 to use D&D lingo.
Yeah.
Roll 1.
We have to do conflicting views, and that's something that will stay on there.
Yeah.
And basically we've got 2 conflicting views, things that we disagree on, that we would argue a lot about.
Yeah.
That we've picked 2 of them that we're going to flip a coin if we roll a 1.
Yeah.
One, we'll pick
There's
one.
probably
for
more
heads, one
things,
for tails.
but
but next time we'll shake it up. We'll change it. After we've done it.
And what do we do for 20?
For 20, we're just doing a movie review, aren't we?
I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's you guys give us a movie
right.
or just something that you'd like us to review, I guess. And
Yeah.
then
So
we'll watch it, or we'll play it, or we'll.
Yeah. So this is an opportunity for you as the audience, if there is anyone listening.
Yeah.
Like
I think we've got 20 listens.
Oh yeah.
20 people listening to this. There we go.
That's actually way more than I thought.
That's pretty good, eh? Thanks for listening, guys.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a 20 we'd probably put it up on social media and just get you guys to suggest us a movie. We'll both watch it.
Yeah.
We might watch it separately or watch it together. And then we discuss it. And we discuss what we thought of it. And we completely tread on the movie that you love so much and that you suggested to us.
Exactly. Rip it to pieces. So it's going to be fun. And yeah, we don't know if we'll just comment or do a poll or something, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Should I roll?
We've got to add in 16 first.
I don't know what we're going to add into 16.
Okay, let's just leave it.
Is there something you want to talk about? Is there something we should add in?
No. What's the chances we're going to roll 16?
Hamish and Jasha play Go and record themselves on podcast.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so 16 is where...
so boring. You don't
16.
even see what we're doing.
Let's go. 16, we're playing Go.
You guys can hear the click of the
satisfying,
the pebbles touching the
relaxing clicking of the pebble, and we'll try and get some like ambience going. Some
board.
like
We'll
water.
hire a professional commentator
like,
to be like, "Oh, Hamish is doing this now. Jake has just got the."
You know, in like a lot of anime and stuff, how they have like,
I
think it's in
chess
Japan
matches
really,
and stuff.
but like they have that sort of like little sand garden thing. I don't know what it's called. But and then they have like the water trickling down like a piece of bamboo thing that sort of goes makes that tonking sound. It's like doop.
So we're gonna make like a.
We're gonna have that ambience
Japanese
going.
Zen garden episode.
Yeah, that's
guys.
the one. Yeah, we're gonna have that going on the background.
Please don't roll a 16.
Go on, you're rolling.
15.
So close.
So we're gonna be talking about this is one that was actually recommended. I think one of our listeners asked for this one, submitted it in, and we're gonna be talking about some of our fanboy moments. Or moments, I guess, that we've kind of like, maybe if we've met famous people before, or I don't know, just things that we're really into when it kind of, something hit us and we kind of fanboyed out a bit. I don't know what, I'm going to have to think about some things.
Yeah.
But I guess we've been to like, let's say it for the next episode, but we've been to like a few comic conventions and like pop culture things. So.
Yeah. I don't think I've had anything big happen, but I've had a few, I think, close.
There we go. I'm excited. It's going to be good. Yeah, doing a podcast of me each week. Catching up with me for the podcast each week is your fanboy moment.
What?
Thanks for listening, guys.
I don't know what to say to that.